do not be afraid to step away. Meaning, you know, it's cool to watch all these videos on gear like cameras and gimbals and lights and drones and sound gear and DJI and all this kind of stuff. Like, it's all good and it's all necessary, but at some point you got to step away and do a project. You know, you got to do something. You know, I watched a video this morning by a YouTuber, and he was talking about how important it is to just do work, you know, like do spec work, do free work, do your own work. Because if you don't have, you know, that experience under your belt, you know, like, what are you doing with the gear? Like, what are you even having it for? You know, what's your point? You know, like, do you want a career as a cinematographer? Do you want to do weddings? Do you want to do commercials? Do you want to do feature films? Or do you want to just do your own stuff? You know, whatever your goal is, you have to be able to actually use the gear that you buy. You can't simply have the best gear. You know, you can't simply own the stuff that has the best dynamic range, or, you know, the lenses that are the sharpest, or have the fastest aperture, or, you know, the best lighting, or, you know, you can't just own that for no reason, because then you're just spending money for nothing, you know, and you're kind of buying into a fear of actually doing a real project. And that's what you have to do. You got to stop watching videos for a while. Don't be afraid to, like, step away and do some work, you know, do something, get some experience, you know, realize that the stuff that you have is more than enough, chances are. And if it's not, that's the only way you're going to learn. You know, like, if you don't have a good enough camera, the only way you really know that is to make a movie, you know, or, you know, do photography. If you're not a filmmaker, if you're a photographer, go out and actually do a shoot, and then find out if your camera is limiting you and what you want to do. If you really know so much that your camera is not serving your needs for real. Because chances are, if you have any kind of modern camera, it's more than enough. But if it's not, the only way you're going to find out is to actually go out there and do a real project. So, you know, and the other thing is this, it's good to be, you know, it's good to have strong examples of talented people that you follow, you know, who inspire you and who kind of get you going and you know, kind of fill this desire to be better, to be great, to do great work. You know, it's good to do that, but at some point, and I keep saying at some point because that's kind of what this video is about, at some point you have to find out what your voice is about, who you are, you know, as an artist and as a person. You have to step away from everybody else, shut it down. You know, personally, I take Instagram, Facebook, I take everything off my phone when I'm working on a project, because the project is mine. I want it to come from me. And so I don't want to be influenced by anything else. I'm not watching films when I'm working on a movie. I'm not watching other movies. I'm not reading scripts. You know, people sometimes send me scripts and ask me to read them and ask me what I think. I don't want to have any kind of other input while I'm working on a project, while I'm creating something new, because I want it to come from me. You know, I want to take everything that I've accumulated and everything that I've learned, and I want to put it into this project. I want to pour all of myself into it and just do the best that I can. And then when I'm finished, I can look back and, you know, figure out and decipher whether or not my gear was up to the task, you know, provided me with everything that I needed, that it didn't limit me in expressing myself, and if it stopped me from being able to share what I wanted to share. That's the only way to know, is to actually do a project. So I'm just saying, this was a quick video because I don't really have time for this right now because I'm working on a film, but it was just on my mind and I felt compelled to share this, and so that's why I'm here. I think it's really important to just step away. You know, it's amazing to watch all of these incredibly talented, gifted YouTubers who are teaching all of us. You know, it's like a beautiful exchange between artists, you know, because you're never too far advanced to learn. You know, you're never too good to learn something new. Nobody is, ever. I don't care if you're Roger Deakins or Joe Blow from down the block who's in 7th grade with a Canon M50 or a phone. There's always room to grow and always room to learn. But at some point, I'll say it again, you have to stop, step away, and do you.